It was in the summertime, August 28, 1923, that Transfiguration Parish came to be. This is the story as has been told. The first building was 3 stories high and just a bit old. On the corner of Western and Browning it sat, and that's where they found mass and everything at. Later in the 1920s, the building was moved to Van Ness and Santa Barbara Avenue. While this great move was taking place, services were held in a building with a storefront space. Next to the building that was moved to Van Ness and now King, was built a new church where you could hear them sing. In 1924, the first pastor, Father John B. Cotter, oversaw the new building and could not have been prouder. In 1930, Father Cotter had to move on when in moved a young priest from Dublin. Father James Buckley was his name. The present church building is his claim to fame. In 1937, when the beautiful church was finally complete, the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet adorned the seats. In that same year, they opened the school with the staff of sisters to enforce the rules. 150 students that came from all around, it's almost certain that none were brown. In 1957, Father Buckley became Monsignor Buckley and continued his reign. For 35 years, he witnessed his parish change. There seemed to have been an increase in the color range. After Monsignor Buckley's death in 1965, it was then that Monsignor Michael O'Callaghan arrived. In 1966, changes in Catholic churches were made, no more Latin, and new altars were laid. In 1970, there was Father Earl G. Walker. In 1972, Father John Hanley, who was quite the talker. Father Hanley was joined by Father Tom King. From 72 to 87 were years some are still remembering. Father Henry had his jokes. Father King worked very hard. I can still see the carnival in the schoolyard. The masses changed, as did the neighborhood. What? A gospel choir? Could this possibly be good? In 1987, Father Jarlath Dolan became pastor. It was a rocky start, some thought a disaster. Before long, we were harmoniously working together. The pews were filled. The church had never looked better. The Catholic Church was definitely changing. Altar kneelers were removed and lots of rearranging. Oscar Pratt and the choir were given a new space. They were now on the altar looking into every face. In 1966 came Monsignor Robert Howard. I think he will be remembered as being very straightforward. He remained with us until his retirement in 2002. He requested to become pastor emeritus. As Monsignor Howard left, this new priest walked in, looking a little nervous and trying very hard to fit in. Father Richard Martini, who prefers to be called Dick, had a passion for people, especially the homeless and the sick. He hit the ground running. Capital campaign was begun. When we looked around, we could see things had been done. Gregory Patterson was ordained a deacon. We were blessed to have him. He was such a sincere beacon. Father Michael Tame was pastor from 2010 to 2014, the most fastidious pastor we had ever seen. Out with the old fond memories and with shiny and new. Things looked a lot different when Father Tame was through. In 2014, a parish light director was assigned. Deacon Mark Race was spiritual and so very kind. While guiding us through the dawn of COVID-19, through his collaboration, many visiting priests could be seen. In 2021, Archbishop Jose Gomez entrusted us to a Josephite. Father Anthony Bozeman came and shed a different light. You better call Jesus when you're all alone, because you can't call Tyrone. This area still has his own. The Josephite mission continued in August of 2022. Father Godwin Akpan, the title of pastor, was all new. Call to Renew campaign welcomed him in. 100th anniversary plans needed to begin. Bible study, adoration, daily mass, and confession. Wear comfortable shoes because there just might be a procession. We are all encouraged to get on board. There are many opportunities to serve the Lord. The faces in the pews continue to change over the years. We've shared lots of laughter and we've wiped away tears. It matters not to God if we are brown, black, or white. All that matters is if we treat each other right. celebrating 100 years and still making history. What the next chapter will be is all a mystery. Who will write it? Who will be left here to read? What will we have accomplished? What will be the need? Thank you so much for your attention.